discuss two things, types of tafsir, and an amazing concept in tafsir of the Quran using Quran. Okay, and that's my field, and I like to do the tafsir of the Quran with the Quran first. And I did an intensive paper on that according to the work of Allama Tabatabai. So my master's thesis was what happened on Mount Sinai. Moses ﷺ speaking to God on Mount Sinai from Majlisi till Tabatabai. So the development of the tafsir from the traditionalist narration, you see, to the intellectual concepts and the concept of tafsir of Quran through Quran. So before that, we mentioned in our previous session, I just read the translation of the words of Sayyid al-Khou'i because I was just mentioning the context. It is necessary for the interpreter to proceed where the verse of the Quran leads him and to bring to light its meaning wherever it points. It's very important that when we ponder the Quran, we feel that Allah is talking to me. And I have experienced it. There's a miraculous aspect when you ponder in the Quran. So do wudu, okay? Purify yourself and then ponder in the Quran. And then the ayat itself will take you, will drag you, will guide you. So you will see automatically things clearing up one after another. You see? So the Quran is living. It will take you, you see, and show you around. So that's one of the beautiful things. So that's what Sayyid al-Khou'i mentions here. He should be a philosopher when a passage contains philosophy, a moralist when a passage deals with morality, a jurist when a passage deals with jurisprudence, a sociologist when a passage discusses society, and so on. Furthermore, the interpreter should be able to expound on the literary technique of the verse. So the language art needs to be there. The style of its vocabulary and phrasing. Indeed, to be an interpreter, one should write a comprehensive work on Quranic sciences. That means you try to understand how was the Quran descended, how the asbab al-nuzul and this and that about Quranic science, which the book of Sayyid al-Khou'i has been translated in English, Al-Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran. You will find it, even a PDF file is there. If you don't find it, let me know. I'll send you an email, the PDF file. So it's very important to have an introduction of Quranic studies. Now we come to the types of the tafsir. Tafsir, we have two types of tafsir in general. One is tafsir using a text. One is tafsir using your mind. Tafsir, it is called bil ma'thur. Ma'thur means written things. And tafsir bil ra'i. Ra'i means your opinion, your thought. Okay? So doing tafsir by text, doing tafsir by using your mind, no text. Is this clear? So these are the two categories. Follow up with me. At the end, I will give you a piece of paper, and you will have to write down the types of tafsir, which either I'll ask you write the types of tafsir bil ma'thur, with the text, with example, like one word, one example, one word, one example, not too much writing. On the other hand, either I'll ask you write how many types of tafsir with opinion, and give me an example. So the answer will be very short. Okay, so I'm going to now discuss these types of tafsir. So we have initially two, tafsir with text. You don't have to write ma'thur. Just remember text, using text, or using internet, or using your opinion. Two types of tafsir. Let's see the four types of tafsir using text. So how many types of tafsir they are using text? Four. Number one, tafsir of Quran by Quran. That's the best type of tafsir. Why? Because Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we said that He knows best what he meant. So we have to try to find out other places where Allah has used the same word, same phrase, but with a little bit difference. So we try to mix the meanings together. And this tafsir is a kind of eternal tafsir, you see, like long way tafsir. Remember that ocean which never dries? That lady, she said that we need to do a lot of research after research. How is that? Because this is the amazing point I was going to mention. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam said that if I would do the tafsir of the Quran, I would require more than 100 camels to carry the load. Okay? More than 100 camels. Let's see how much a camel can carry. Yes, Mustafa? Murtada and Sayyid Murtada and Sayyid Mahdi. Tell me, how much can the camel carry on its back? 300 kg. What about you? 250 kg. You want to be close to him? How much does an average person weigh? 80, 70. Okay. When we hear the stories of Ahlebait alayhimus salam traveling with women, they will have this, you call it in Urdu mahmal, the saddle or a chamber, small chamber on the back of the camel, where there's a hijab, so they can sit inside the chamber. Have you seen those they put on the back of the camel? Kind of small chamber where women sits inside that chamber. So how much do you think does this mahmal weigh? It's made out of wood and cloth. Yeah. They used to travel and they said that the Muslims, they are not good with women. We used to build chamber on the camel just for them.
On it?
Yeah, a small wooden box where a woman can sit inside and she's protected from the sun and from the rain. And they say Islam demonizes women. How can we demonize? We are pampering them.
They're comfortable though.
Yes, cozy blankets and cushions and everything inside. It's like a chamber. You see, like a car. The height of the car is like, and you sit inside the car. So they will sit inside this chamber, protected from sun. It's better than putting one leg here and one leg here and sitting on the camel. You see, and when you feel sleepy, you might fall here and there. But if they are sleepy, they just relax. You see, those people tell you Islam is like that. Tell them that we pamper women, on the camel. We have chambers and boxes where they can sit inside, relax, and cushions and pillows. How much do you think this weighs?
100 kg.
No way. Trust me. 100 plus 300, this camel will die. He said, no, Ya Allah, he complained. This wooden frame doesn't weigh. 20 kg is too much. Huh? Because it's just frame of wood, platform of wood, and then all this is cloth.
You never know what the human inside.
Yeah, without human, I'm saying. You already told me 250 kgs the camel can carry. So let's say 2 women inside this, an average of 150 kg, and let's say this was 50 kg. So 200 kg, you said 300, let's say 200 kgs. So the camel can carry an average of 200 kg and not complain. 300, he might complain on the day of judgment. So we had this huge guy in Hajj. We went for Hajj. So he was, mashallah, an Iranian brother. So it was very funny. So he was very huge, like heavyweight. So he just wanted to ride on the camel. When we go to Arafat, after Hajj, they have this camel riding and all this. They made like a tourism area. So he said, no, I want to sit on the camel. He said, the camel bardash nahi karega. It will dhulm on the camel. Can't tolerate your weight. He said, no, I want to. So he sat on the camel. Once the camel was rising up, he made all his droppings. He just passed his droppings. All we saw balls coming out. So I said, see what you did to the camel? He emptied all his stomach from the weight. So therefore, so camel can carry about 200 to 300 kgs with the thing, with difficulty. But 200. Let's keep 200. If we have this a book, like this thick book of 300 pages, how many kgs do you think that would have? How many kgs would you give to your book you have? 1.5. Okay. Little bit thicker, 2 kgs. 2 kgs. So how many books can a camel hold? If we say 200 kg, 100 books. Okay, 100 books. Imam Ali said, how many camels? 100 camel would not carry. So 100 by 100, how many? 100 and 100? 10,000. So Imam Ali is saying that I could go on tafsir of the Quran, 10,000 volumes. Show them the volume of your book. Please, raise your book. This is half of the book. It's 1 kg. We said double of this book, 2 kg. Like this, 10,000 books would be tafsir of Imam, and it's not the complete tafsir. You see? So this is Imam Ali. How can we have that? Now, what is the maximum tafsir in Urdu we have? Maximum volumes?
15, I think. Tafsir al-Namuna.
Tafsir al-Namuna, which is about 22 volumes.
15, I think.
Huh? Tafsir al-Mizan, how many volumes? 20. Arabic is 20. Yeah, Arabic is 20. English, I don't know how many translated, how many volumes. And then there is this tafsir, the blue one, Enlightenment in English. About Tafsir al-Amthal of Sheikh Nasir Makarim, 20 volumes. There is tafsir, which is Tafsir al-Basair. That is the highest volume of tafsir we have now, and it's about 100 volumes. So in 20th century, this is one of the critics of Sayyid al-Khoi. What have we done? Where have we gone? From 1,400 years, we have this many volumes of tafsir. Where are we? We're way behind. Way behind. You see? This is, Imam Ali says, I would have gone this much, 10,000, 100 camels. And that's, we said camel carries 200. Otherwise it could be more. So just to understand how much Quran has potential of being interpreted. You see? Now I'll give you some practical thing. We have how many ayat we have?
6,000.
About 6,000. Have you seen these chemical reactions in chemistry? We try to make this what they say, I forgot the name, chemical component or atom or something.
Compound.
Chemical compound with this chemical compound. You see, the chemists, they try to make reactions and they see the productions. So all the chemical compounds which you have, what they say, Mendeleev's periodic table.
Elements, you mean?
Yeah, elements, yes. So all these elements, we try to bring chlor with hydrogen, bring chlor with sodium, bring chlor with... So you make this chlor go with all the elements and you see the results. Some may be positive, some may be no results. You see? So experiments are done like that. So if we have, I don't know how many elements are there, I forgot. 100? 200? 100 elements? Let's say 100 elements we have. So 100 by 100. So you can have about 10,000 reactions and different productions. Some may be positive, some may be negative, some may be nothing in that. So if we bring this concept in the Quran, we have 6,000 ayat. If we try to do a reaction between ayat and ayat, I'm not talking about hadith. I'm just talking about the ayat of the Quran. And I'm even not talking about the words of the Quran. The ayat. Okay? So 6,000 multiplied by 6,000. What is the potential? Six zeros?
36.
And those 3 zeros and 3 zeros? 36 million conclusions might come out. Not necessarily all might have positive results, but we are talking about 36 million probabilities when you interact ayat with ayat. You see, that's a lot number. So now we understand, okay, that's why 100 camels, you see, 10,000 book is not enough. Because you have great potential in the interpretation of the Quran. Are you picturing with me? That 36 million probabilities. Some might be right, some might not be right, but at least you have a lot of work to do in this interaction. And some ayat are repeated, but we did not take all the ayat. We said 6,000. Some ayats are repeated, same, exactly. But we are talking about ayat. If there is a difference in this ayat and difference in this ayat, we make a reaction. With other ayat, we make a reaction. We try to find out how much conclusion we can get out of this interaction with the ayat with each other. That's a lot. And now we can realize, where are we? We are nowhere. To even one person, like 50 volumes of the 100 volume of the Quran, and we have 36 million probabilities and 10,000 volumes. So we are nowhere. I don't know, can somebody say how many percentage is this? Like 100 volumes in front of 10,000 volumes? You put 100 above and 10,000 down, is 0.0001%. 0.00001%. We're nothing close. And we are Muslims. And Quran is our book. We are the people of Quran. What's happening? You see? So that is very important to understand that there's a lot of potential, especially in the area of tafsir. So this 36 million is tafsir of Quran with Quran. How about if we use tafsir of hadith? We bring the hadith of Ahlebait alayhi salam, of Ma'sumin alayhi salam, the authentic hadith, and we do the interpretation of the Quran. More results, more knowledge will come out. So these are, there are 4 types of tafsir of the Quran. Okay, number 1, tafsir of Quran with Quran. I'm going to explain. Let me see why. Still we have half an hour. Okay. So tafsir al-Quran bil Quran. I'll give you examples. First, let's index them. Then we have tafsir of Quran via hadith. Okay? Because Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they're the best people who know about the Quran and what the Quran contains from layers of meaning, because Quran was descended in their houses. Okay? Quran was descended in the house of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salatu wasallam is there. Imam Ali alayhi salam is there. Imam Hassan and Hussein are there. So they are the most knowledgeable people in the meanings of the Quran. Then we have tafsir by history. Let's say I don't have any Quranic ayat. Let's say I don't have any hadith. Then we look into the history. Is there something which the history has mentioned about this ayat of the Quran, something in around this ayat? Then we can look into the history and explain, yes, there is this word was titled to this people, these type of people in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, which is available in the history. Or by linguist. We don't have any hadith, we don't have any ayat, we have a word. So we look into the dictionary, Arabic dictionary, for the words which had the meaning in that time. So what could this word have from meaning? So these are the 4 types of tafsir with the text. So by Quran is a text, hadith is a text, dictionary is a text, history is a text. So these are 4 tafsir. So don't forget, if I ask you at the end, make sure that you are going to let me know these 4 types of tafsir. Now I'll give you an example. Tafsir, I'll go back from backwards. Tafsir of by history. By history, we have ayat saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman, Qutila ashabul ukhdud. Ukhdud. What does ukhdud mean? Fume? Ukhdud? No, in Persian, that's dud is fume. This is Arabic. Yeah. Anyone, you know Mahdi? Ukhdud? Khad? كيف خدك؟ شو عامل بخدك؟ What does khad mean? He dug a trench. They were burned alive. They're burned alive. So this is in the history. We can't find in the hadith. We can't find, for example, in the hadith or in the ayat of the Quran. So if you write the what they say, tafsir through history, you will write an example, people of the trench, ashab al-ukhdud. Okay? Let's take the linguistic. The ayah of the Hajj mentions لِيَقْضُوا تَفَثَهُمْ. What is tafathum? Is this a curse word or what's this tafath? You see? So we find that this tafath it's an ancient word, which means the extra things, filthy things which you get rid of them from your body. So what are the things which you get rid of them from your body? Yes, exactly. Nails. So, and hair. You get rid of these things. You see, those days, these were considered, something to get rid of them. Extra might bring, what they say, lice, filth collecting inside the nails. So these were considered something a clean person would get rid of, this extra hair and extra nail and all those kind of things. So liyaqdu tafadhal, that means when you do Hajj, you come to a stage, you clip your nail or you clip your hair to exit the ihram. They exit the state of ihram. You see? So here we have a word we used from the dictionary. لِيَقْضُوا تَفَثَهُمْ. So they should get rid of their tafath, nails and hair. So this is another example. Third example, the tafsir of narration. Ayat says, eat and drink until the white thread becomes obvious from the black thread. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمْ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ. So this thread kind of thing, what is this thread? So there was a companion of Prophet ﷺ. He was sitting in the dawn time after of the masjid of the Prophet, and he was holding two threads, white thread and black thread. And he was trying to see when I'm able to distinguish these two threads in this dark, that will be the time of Fajr, that means a little bit light came. So the Prophet ﷺ said, what are you doing? He said, Prophet, I'm trying to see when I'll be able to distinguish this white thread from the black thread. He said, this is not what Allah meant. So what did Allah mean? So that the darkness of the night and the whiteness of the day. So they are two parallel in line. So once, as I said, the light starts to arise like this and it becomes like flag. So when you see these two lines obvious, that's your Fajr. You see? So this was explanation by hadith. And we have a lot, like the cutting of the hand when this guy came to Mutawakkil or Mu'tasim, I don't know, in the time of Muhammad Jawad alayhi salatu, Ma'mun. So he stole. So people they wanted to cut off his hand. So every fatwa, the Khalifa said that what should we do? From where should we cut the hand? Some said from here, some said from here, some said from here. Everybody started giving fatwa. Then he asked Imam Muhammad al-Jawad, what do you think, Ibn Rasulullah, son of Messenger of Allah? He said, after everybody has given their say, why should I speak? Let me just not. He said, no, I want to know your opinion. He said, we just cut the fingers. So why fingers? Quran says hand. Yeah, because Allah also says tafsir al-Quran bil-Quran. So Imam Muhammad al-Jawad uses tafsir al-Quran bil-Quran. فَإِنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. The parts of prostrations are for Allah. Leave them, spare them. So when you cut the finger, still your palm is left for doing sujood. So that is, Imam used tafsir of Quran bil-Quran. But for us, it's a hadith presented in front of us. You see? So this is an example of, so when I ask you to write down the types of tafsir in hadith, you can write the cutting of the hand for the thief, or you can write the distinguishing the dawn. You don't need to write details, just these two things. And then tafsir of the Quran with the Quran. So here, and by the way, my night lecture, most of them, so try to bring your notes and whatsoever, because I'll be mentioning the ayah. Try to make sure that you're in them. Those who are living far away, in Manchester, they can, are we going to put live stream? And then after that you can also put on the YouTube. So inshallah they'll try to put on live stream so you can follow. Just you can send them the link, it will be nice. So basically most of the night I'm going to do the explanation, the topics which are related to the tafsir of the Quran bil Quran. Little bit I will use hadith. I'm going to use one example, I'm going to elaborate more in my lectures, like ruh. If they ask you about the ruh, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ, people ask you, ruh. See, you know what's ruh? You know what's ruh? It's not ruh afza for sure. It's not that sharbat which you drink on the when you're breaking your fast, that ruh afza. So what is ruh? Huh? Goat? Go. Ruh. Ruh ta'al, go and come. That's the Lebanese. Ruh, yalla ruh. Even Persian Gulf they say ruh, go. Soul. Ar-ruh. Okay? Ar-ruh. Soul. So when they ask you about soul, what is this soul? Okay? So قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي, of my Lord. Amr of my Lord. Look at the chain of the ayat I'm going to bring. Now a question rises. So what is the Amr of your Lord? What is the Amr? Amr of my God. Amr of Allah. This ayat tells me that tell them ruh is from the Amr. Now I have to ask Quran, okay Quran, can you tell us what is Amr? But before that, yes, Surah Yasin, end of Surah Yasin. Innama is a word in Arabic language which is called Adatul Hasr, restricting phrase, limiting phrase, that means nothing but. So innama amruhu idha arada shay'an an yaqula lahu kun fayakun. His amr is nothing but. If he wants something, if he makes a will, just say kun, be, and it is. So his amr is the command of kun. Miraculous system. That means the system which does not bow to any physical premise. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made three systems. System of nature, where biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, they govern this. Rain, having children, plants, all these things are a system of nature. So the nature is governed by, that's why if you want to become a scientist, you have to study biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. You see? So this is how the nature is governed. So all the natural laws, they are under this umbrella of physics, biology, chemistry, and mathematics. Okay? This is one system Allah made, that His will comes through. His will. He wants rain, then the high pressure, low pressure, this, and the water in the sky, humidity in the sky, and then the rainfall. He wants to have somebody have children, then they will get married or something like that, and then they will have children. He wants the plant to grow, then you'll have to water the plant. So it's all natural system. You want these things, Allah has kept the natural system in your hand of human. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمْ. Ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Everything, whatever is in the heavens and the earth, has been made under your control. But you have to seek the knowledge to have that control. So you have to learn physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics to have the control on the nature, scientific things, nature, scientific nature. Okay, this is one system. Another system, if Allah wants something, He wants us to do it. And that's the legislative system. Allah wants salah to be established. Then He gives a command. Aqim as-salata. Establish the salah. Okay? He wants us to fast. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامَ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ. Fasting has been made obligated upon you as it has been made obligated upon the nations before you. So, a command. Hajj. وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ. Proclaim. Come to Hajj. Come to Hajj. So these are commands of Allah. But these are legislative commands. So Allah wants Hajj. But He wants me to. If I do not do and it's obligated upon me, I'll end up into punishment. Allah wants Salat, but He wants me to establish Salat. If I do not establish Salat, I'll end up into punishment. You see? If fasting, He wants me to do the fasting, but He want of Allah. So there's natural want of Allah, there is this legislative want of Allah, and then there's third want or will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bypasses everything and makes it happen very fast. And that is kun fayakun. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants Jesus alayhi salam to be born without a father, biological law, He will bypass and say kun fayakun, and Jesus is born to Maryam alayhi salam. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants a stick to be made into a snake, scientifically it's a little bit complicated, but Allah will make kun fayakun, bypass the law of science, and stick of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam will change into snake. You see? So kun fayakun means amr of Allah, power of kun fayakun, power to perform miracles. So now, Quran also tells us a little bit about amr. Characteristics of amr. That amr is fast. Amr is fast, like in Surah Al-Qamar. وَمَا أَمْرُنَا. And again this one. وَمَا, ma and illa are restricting phrase in Arabic language. You see? Adatul hasr. Ma and illa. Not but. So our amr is nothing but one. Like a blink of an eye. وَمَا أَمْرُنَا إِلَّا وَاحِدَةٌ كَلَمْحٍ بِالْبَصَرِ. Like the blink of an eye. It's one, Allah's amr. So Allah has given us the characteristic of the system of amr. That it does not bow, there's no time, there's no delay, there's no nothing. It's just a quick thing. So I did not bring any hadith here. Ayat, explain ayat, explain ayat. I'll give you two more ayat and then we will go to the other type of tafsir. Related to amr. And you said, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْرُوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. So all the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to perform the miracle comes from heaven on, and it has to come on a pure personality, infallible. And that's how Allah supports the Anbiya and the Imams with the ability to perform miracles. And that's Amr descends from every type of power.
Question in mind, there was some discussion with my friends as well, but there's a confusion that, is Mu'jiza a fail of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala itself, or is both Allah and the Nabi whom it is descended upon?
Yes, it is coming now. We will ask Quran. Okay, so Quran then gives us an example of an incident happen. Of course, everything is from Allah. Nothing can happen without Allah. But is it Allah who does it or the Prophet who does it? It's Prophet who does it. You see? Because Allah has given him this. I'm eating. It's Allah making me eat, or I'm eating. I'm eating, but if Allah would not have given me the ability to eat, I would not have been able to eat. So it is Allah in everything. But I have the option to do. So Prophet has an option to do miracle. But Allah has given him without any doubt that power. So we come to this this ayat which says Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I will say madmoon al-ayat just because I've forgotten the word. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ I got it. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. We made them imams. So imams are make of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not make of the people. أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ. They guide people. What do they use to guide people? What is the tool they use? How they convince the people so that people can accept their guidance? Bi amrina. Bi amrina. Whose amr? Allah's amr. And what is Allah's amr? We said, Innama amruhu idha arada shay'an an yaqula. His amr is nothing but power of kun fayakun. So these imams, we have given them amr, ability to perform miracles. So they guide people, and to make them convinced, satisfied, they perform this power, they use this power. Now, okay, we can have two examples from the Quran. One, Asif bin Barkhia. You know what's Asif bin Barkhia? He's not selling something on the end of the street. Not samosa kebab. No, that's Asif Bhai perhaps. This is Asif bin Barkhia. Asif bin Barkhia was the successor of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salatu. Okay? Prophet Sulaiman, Asif, successor, same like Imam Ali. Of course, Imam Ali has higher position. So he was successor. So there was a situation, this is mentioned in Quran, there's no hadith. I'm going to just give you a sum of that story. The Queen of Yemen was sent a message by Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salatu that about the propagation of da'wah and all those kind of things. They don't believe, and she decided that she's going to come to Palestine to visit Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam. So Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam invites all his subjects in the kingdom, jinns, human, everybody. So the Prophet Sulaiman says that whomsoever from you can bring me the throne where she sits of Bilqis from Yemen till Palestine, you see, who can bring me the throne of Bilqis? So the mighty jinn, okay, the super jinn, he said, I can bring it to you. Before you stand up, stand up, that's a time. I don't want time, I want something to bypass all the natural laws and natural things. So, وَقَالَ الَّذِي عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِّنَ الْكِتَابِ. The one who had knowledge from the book, not the entire knowledge, part of the knowledge. He says, I can bring it to you before you blink your eye. And what did Allah say? وَمَا أَمْرُنَا إِلَّا وَاحِدَةٌ كَلَمْحٍ بِالْبَصَرِ. Our amr is nothing but like the blink of an eye. So he said, I will bring it to you before you blink your eye. And Prophet Sulaiman blinked the eye and the throne was in front of him. So throne of Bilqis. So this is not a prophet. You see, it's a successor of prophet. He has knowledge of the book and he was able to perform the miracle of kun fayakun. I'm going to mention this in my majlis also because many people, they need to know, because nowadays there are people that are against this concept of Anbiya and Imams performing this kind of ability, where it is very clear in the Holy Quran, and I don't know why they deny it. You see, among some Shias, unfortunately. So this movement is coming, and I don't know, it's a satanic movement, but it's very obvious in the Quran, this Amr issue. And Sayyid al-Khuy was asked about this. It is from our Aqidah. That our Imams, they possess this. It's not Allah who's doing it. Allah has given them the power. They are doing it. You see? Another example. So this was one example of Amr kun fayakun. Another example, let me just give one example more. Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. when he performs the miracle, he said, I, inni, ubri'ul akmaha wal abras. And I cure the blind, I cure the one who has leprosy, but with the permission of Allah. I have to take the approval. Oh God, do you allow me? Then I do it. But I do it. And I bring people back to life. I bring. وَأُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى بِإِذْنِ رَبِّي. Why? Because if Prophet Musa, this guy comes, oh my auntie is dead, can you bring my auntie, my uncle, my dada, my nana? Then people will be zombies walking on the earth. Then the purpose of death will not be there. So that's why permission is required. Isa, slow down. Not every request, only few requests for the purpose. So بِإِذْنِ رَبِّي, permission of Allah, my Lord. But I can't do that. But I need to ask, Ya Allah, should I? Can I? So that's the only thing which is mentioned. So the power of kun fayakun, the power of the miracle is Allah has given it to. And then one more ayat. Since we are doing ayat to ayat, one ayat describes Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. It says, وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. People are bothering the Prophet, annoying the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they said, oh Prophet, tell them, it is sufficient for me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ, between me and you. وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. Correct? No. علم الكتاب. You see? So it is sufficient for me. It is sufficient for me, Allah. And then the one has the knowledge, not from the book, the book. Asif bin Barkhia had knowledge from the book. Now people, they come and they say, that means people of book, they are sufficient for the Prophet. Come on. If people of book, they agree, they would have converted to Islam. Then there will be no more people of book. So if those people who are remaining people of book, they are not convinced, how can Prophet bring those people who are not convinced, be witness to his da'wah? It's crazy, contradicting logic. Quran, they witness Prophet is the messenger of God, but they don't believe in him. You see? So there's but Prophet is saying, it is sufficient for me. I don't need them because I have one who has the knowledge of the book. And that one, knowledge from the book, could perform miracle. So why can't Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam perform miracle? You see, because he has the knowledge of the book. He has more knowledge than Asif bin Barkhia. So, ilmun min al-kitab, ilmul kitab. Remember, the part of the book, knowledge of the book, and the Sunni tafasir, Shia tafasir, Shawahid al-Tanzil, Yanabi al-Mawadda, they all describe this person as Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. So therefore, this, I did not bring any hadith. I brought ayah after, except for the part of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, I brought history. But other than that, I linked ayat with ayat to understand this concept of ruh. So now we know that ruh is not from the natural system, it's from the system of kun fayakun. It's from the system of metaphysical. So you can't measure ruh in your laboratory. Ruh does not have weight. Ruh does not have volume. Ruh is a power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an intellectual power which we have. This is according to the ayat after ayat, and God knows the best. Okay? So now, yes, my son, you had a question.
Well, Sheikh, you partly answered my question. So Asif bin Barkhia, he was, as long as I heard, he was a minister of Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam. And he was just an ordinary person. So, like an ordinary person like him can have this high knowledge of the book, so can show Allah and do stuff like the Ahlebait do or the Anbiya do. So it's something that anyone can achieve to that level, or it's only particularly for the Anbiya?
No, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents role models, that means He wants all of us to strive to reach that level. Obviously, we will never be able to reach that level. I mean, I'm talking about myself. Maybe you might be one day, I don't know. But for me, I will never be able to reach that level. It's not the level of Anbiya, not the level of Asif bin Barkhia or people like those. You see, it requires a lot of strive, of nafs, jihadun nafs, a lot. The purification of the soul is required. You see, if you reach that level, so there are scholars, You see, they have some type of that level of purity where they have some amazing gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, so it's not because our imams were imam Allah gave them. No, this power. They attained it from because of the maintaining the purity of their nafs. You see, their nafs, they keep it away from being defiled. And that's why they are masoom. See, because they have the choice to make wrong. But it's impossible that they will choose wrong. Because if I say the masoom is masoom like a robot, Allah made them masoom, then I'll say, Ya Allah, why didn't you make me masoom? I would not have done sins. That lillahi al-hujjatul baligha. Allah has the highest proof. So I can't protest on Allah. Allah can protest on me. Because if I protest on Allah, that means Allah's na'udhu billah concept was weak. A weak person like me can protest? No. So Allah has always the strong proof against me. So He has chose our masooms to be imam because they purified, or they not purified, they kept their souls pure. They kept their nafs pure. Allah chose them as chosen ones. And because they kept their nafs pure, they could not commit sins. So infallible. And Allah gave them a certificate, verified them. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. So it is Allah, He wants to keep the filth away. That means that Masoom will do the filth if Allah? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to keep the filth away. Anybody who tries to tarnish the image of Masooms, Allah will keep them away. They tried to curse Imam Ali. They brought all the worst things, 70 years, curse Imam Ali and said bad things. We don't have any of those in history because Allah keeps them pure from these kind of accusations. So there's a more deep meaning in Ayatul Tathir. It's not Allah purifies them. No. Allah defends their purity. More coming to the context of the infallibility. We'll discuss this later on. So anyhow, so these are the four types of tafsir. Tafsir al-Quran bil-Quran, give me the example of Ruh. Tafsir al-Quran bil-Hadith, you give me the example of dawn. Tafsir al-Quran by history, you'll give me the example of? Example of? Trench. Ukhdud. Not khad, this chin, but ukhdud has two meanings. Chins and trench. And then we have four tafsir of Quran with language. You'll choose? Yes. You will choose which example? Hajj. The tafath, the fill. Just Hajj. Okay. And these are the four types of tafsir. We come to the other side. Tafsir with opinion. This is easy. Don't sleep now. We are almost done. We're close to the end, inshallah. Help me with being with me. These are two tafsir only. The praised and the condemned. So first we take condemned. Or let's take the praised one. Praised tafsir. Praised tafsir using intellect. Not any text. I don't have any ayat of the Quran. I don't have any, what they say, hadith. I don't have any history. So I will use my intellect. Now this intellect means the concepts of intellectual society and especially the logical arguments. Logical arguments. Use logic. Not personal opinions. Because personal opinions is from condemned tafsir. Like those people, some of the companions or some of the companions of Imam Sadiq, they used to use personal opinions as tafsir. That is condemned. We said, whoever does tafsir without the knowledge, base of knowledge, foundation of, should choose this place in hellfire. So those tafsir don't have any base of knowledge. It's personal opinion. As long as they say that this is what God meant. But if they say, probably, that is, you are okay. The other side is using sound intellectual concepts. I'll give you an example. Like this one, like obey Allah and obey the messenger and obey the ulil amr. Ulil amr, they said these are the khalifas. Allah says, obey the Khalifas. So these people are going to choose their place in the hellfire because they have personal opinion pleasing their leaders and their Khalifas. So this is one of the examples, and many of the examples are hocus pocus tafsirs, the spiritualism and spirituality, irfani tafsir, which is not based on proper sound, because some irfani tafsir might be, but some irfani tafsir is just a hocus pocus. And some spirituality, boost of, like, they give you boost of spirituality, you become like high, like somebody is in a, we don't want to go there, you see. Tafsir needs to be on sound ground of intellectual concept, not just because I think so, because I feel that this ayat has this, my heart shows that we'll say, please keep it to yourself, you see. School of Ahlebait, we have to use our intellect. Don't bring us this mumbo jumbo. Imam means welcome. Jumbo, that means hello. See, Jumbo. So this is in Africa, we use, but here we call mumbo jumbo something like Harry Potter kind of stuff. Anyhow, so basically, this is the condemned tafsir. Sound ground. I'll give you an example. Though we have tafsir of hadith in this, but to let you understand. Any word of the Quran which literal meaning is impossible, I have to use my intellect to go to the next level of meaning. You see? So, for example, I mentioned about the mountain. In those days, mountains are moving. But nowadays, no. I don't need to use that intellectual, because yes, intellectually it is acceptable now. The main obvious example is looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Would you see their Lord? Ila rabbiha nadhir. Now this looking at their Lord creates a logical conflict. A logical conflict. How can we, our eyes which are limited, which can't see in every, like at night we can't see. I can't see behind. I can't see. It's very limited scope of my eyes. Unless if you are a horse, then horse have side eyes. Their vision is not unlimited. So we have limited ability to see, and God is unlimited, absolute. How can this limited tool can grasp unlimited Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Impossible. So let's look into the Arabic language. Nadhira. What other meanings could I have? What other levels could I have? Nadhira, intidhar. They'll be waiting for the bounties. They'll be waiting for their Lord, the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the bounties of their Lord. Wujuh yawma idhin nadhira ila rabbiha nadhira. They'll be looking at the bounties of their Lord. They'll be waiting for the bounties of their Lord. So looking for the bounties of the Lord or waiting for the decision, we have to find out other than looking physically to, because Quran by itself, if we use tafsir Quran, but Quran rejects it. But let's not go there, because we want to just give an example of how logically it's impossible. You see, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created time, matter, space. Okay? Murtaba and Mehdi, I'll ask you a question. Can a son be the father of his father in the same time, same moment, same place, same? Can you be the father of your father in the same time, same realm, same?
No.
Logically, we'll say impossible.
Yeah.
Correct? Can you? Your father is sitting here. Be careful. It's impossible. Why? Why it's logically impossible? Because he's the cause of you, and you are the effect. So effect can never be the cause of its cause at same time, same realm, same circumstances, same. That's basic logical principle. So God created time, place. Okay? Time, place, and matter. Can God be engulfed under the time He created?
No.
The place He created? So God is above the time, matter, and space. It's impossible to limit God in a place He has created. Now that means the effect will be about its cause. There's more logical argument here, but I'm just giving a small example. So logically, it's impossible to say I'll be looking at my Lord. It's impossible. So we'll have to say they'll be looking at the bounties of their Lord. So why do you add a word in the tafsir of the Quran here? God did not say bounties. Yes, but it is understood because logically it's impossible. No, how is it impossible? Let me give you another ayat of the Quran. فَاسْأَلِ الْقَرْيَةِ. Ask the village or ask the city. In the Quran, Surah Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Ask the city. Okay? Can you ask the city? Can you ask the city? Can you ask the walls and buildings? Can you, man? Can you? Can someone here? Without the power of kun fayakun. Without kun fayakun. Can you ask them? So what will you be asking in the city? People of the city. So as Allah is telling me, ask the people of the city. So I had to add a word here in the interpretation because it's impossible logically to ask the city. So I had to take another meaning of the ayah because it conflicts with logic. So here I used a logical principle. You can't ask something which is dead, which is solid. So there has to be something which is you can ask and it is understood in the context. You see? So therefore, this is the type of logic when we use in interpretation of the Quran, sound logic, where we have impossible and all those kind of things which are used. So anyhow, again, I'll sum up these two things and we are done for today, inshallah. So the tafsir of the Quran are two types. Tafsir bil ma'thur, text. Tafsir opinion. Opinion are two types. One is praise, which is using sound logic. Other one is condemn, which is personal opinion and perceptions. That is condemn. If you are asked, what is your proof, evidence? Oh, I think so. That's my feeling. Okay. Thank you so much. We don't want it. So you need to ask for evidence. The other part is text, Quran with Quran, ruh, and the other one was hadith, right? And the third one was the text, which was Hajj, the filth on the Hajj, and the history, which was the people of the trench. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين والحمد لله رب العالمين.